What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. It's your first time joining the show. Welcome to the show. We got a good one for you today. Like my man Steve Harvey done say, it's Mark Norman, comedy. This guy's so funny, man. A good buddy of mine in comedy. I love him so much. He has a new Netflix special out right now. Go watch it, baby. Or you support Kevin Hart. It's either him or Kevin Hart. You got to choose. Mark's out there on the road. Go check him out. I'm out there in the fall with Bobby Lee. Robert E. Lee, a direct descendant, and I are back out in the fall. We're doing Pittsburgh, Rochester, Cleveland, D.C., Boston, Denver, Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison. We're all over, and we're adding more dates as we go. Go to badfriendspod.com, badfriendspod.com for those tickets. I'm also coming to Chicago. How did I leave out Chicago? Come on, dude, my home shite town. Go to badfriendspod.com and get those tickets, badfriendspod.com. Enough rambling. Let's go to the episode.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
Oh, that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guest today is one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again today. It's Mark Norman!
LA, baby. Tonight's going to be great. We're at the store.
We're on
We
the
got
same
me,
shows.
you, Bert. I think Schultz is in town.
Oh, he is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I think he's
man.
hiding a little bit. 'Cause
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's like, everybody keeps hitting me up. I'm staying home. I want to,
Not you, baby. You're out and about.
I'm out. I got a special to promote.
He's got a
goddammit.
special to promote right now. Go watch his special right now on Netflix. Although you don't need much promotion. It was in the top 10 for a couple of weeks straight, and it pushed Tommy Segura's Sledgehammer right out of the top 10.
Moving to
Cheers
lose
to
it,
that,
Dickless.
dude. That's
Hey,
right.
He's had enough. He's got race cars and a kid with autism. That's what you made it. You got an autism kid, you're doing well.
Does only one of them have autism or both?
I assume one's a tard. I don't know.
You
I
got to
can't
have
keep
one or
up.
two. Yeah, that's true. Are you going to have kids, by the way?
I think in a year I'd like to have a couple of Rugrats.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You hoping autism?
Well, one, I want to go full downs just because I want to put a leash on it.
That's
and
right.
Feed it glue and let it run. Just want
Now,
to let it run.
Would you keep it attached to something, your kids? Like
Yeah.
to the radiator or something at the house, like the old days?
Yeah, something like a radiator, or I'd put those big yellow barrels like in Jaws.
Oh,
So
yeah.
even if he got away, I could find him. Like there he goes. You get up on the roof, you see the yellow going through the streets.
There he is.
Yeah.
That's your, the parents have the kids share their location. That's your share your location. You're like, throw a light in that barrel, let him run around. We'll know where
Right.
he is.
I'll be on the roof. Smile, you son of a bitch. I hit him with a blowgun. He faints.
I read a whole thing about him that he was blacked out every day on that shoot, by the way.
Roy?
Yeah, that he was annihilated on that shoot. Oh, whoa,
Jesus
whoa.
Christ. Where's
What
the
happened
blue
to the
chew?
mic? It's the bottom one. Hold on.
Oh.
Norman's mic just fell.
That thing dropped like Biden.
I read a thing that he was blacked out on like every single
Really?
shoot. Yeah, that he really took the character, especially during the scenes when he was really drunk at night. You know, when he was getting in an argument that he
yes.
would get. By the way, for those that don't know, we're referencing Jaws, and in the very iconic scene, there he's drunk as shit at night, and apparently he was so fucked up when they first tried to do the take. They had to stop, right? They had to stop rolling because he was too fucked. He couldn't even say anything.
Wow.
But talk about getting into character, huh?
I know, right? Boy, men were men back then. you know?
Smoking and drinking and snorting.
Yeah, like a doll's eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, Spielberg said go ahead and drink, and then it got real bad.
Wow.
But if Spielberg said go ahead and get lit, you're going to get fucking lit,
Of course,
dude.
although it was his first movies, he was some weird Jew kid film guy, so they
Yeah.
didn't know.
That was also that's what his title is, Weird Jew Kid Film Guy.
That was his business card.
But you got a new special out.
Yeah.
Mark is one of the most, I would say, prolific comedians of our generation who's so funny, puts out so much good stuff, and it's out right now on Netflix. It's a banger. It looks sparkly and pretty and beautiful.
thank
the kid
you.
looks cute, by the way. Man, oh man, the kid looks
hey,
cute.
I got a little hair did. You know,
You got a little hair did?
They hired a lady. She put a little goo in there, a little jizz, and it was fun. It was nice.
Little spit shine on the old skull.
Yeah.
Where did you do that again? You did it where?
The Vic in Chi-Town.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
Love
That's
the
right.
Vic.
What a great city. What a great fucking special.
Although I'm the only dumbass who filmed during St. Patty's.
Ah.
So people are falling off the rafters, getting drunk. Somebody got a divorce, sleeping, heckling. It was crazy.
We had, what city were we in when two people threw up before the show even started? Where were we?
Whoa.
Baltimore, yeah, Baltimore. Talk about
Really?
fucking nutbags.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the show didn't even start. We had to stop. Bob and I had to stop the first show because the stagehands came back and somebody was like, dude, we got to delay at least 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, we were getting annoyed because I was like, dude, we're already behind.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, we got to go because people are going to get ornery. People are sitting there. You know, the people that show up on time are there like an hour early and they're like, dude, come on,
exactly.
let's go.
The Asians,
Yeah.
you know, who show up to the Bobby side.
I said,
Ornery Adams.
I said, when we start, you know, just who cares if people are filing in?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, we can't. Look, and I peeked the side curtain. Like, it looks like, it looked like if you had like hammered out a chunk of the crowd, it had just been ripped apart. And I was
yeah.
like, what is that? They all stood up and ran away because some dude yacked over the seats.
Whoa.
Threw up on people. Yeah,
Wow.
everywhere. I know. Commendable. Whoever that dude is, congratulations, man.
It's like Stand By Me with the pie eating
Yeah,
contest, the castor oil. Holy shit.
So then he threw up, and then in the middle of the show, I guess, or right at the beginning of the show, someone threw up in a balcony, and they just threw up straight down into their seat, which was very polite.
That's nice.
If you're gonna throw up, do it in your little vicinity. We should all have a little circle to puke in your own little world.
Like Kate Moss.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, she brings a bucket.
Oh, good for her.
They got to go get a bucket. Used to be 5 gallon. It's a 10 gallon now.
Oh.
As time goes on, she needs more. There's more mass.
Right.
You know.
She's getting older.
Did you ever date a model? Have you ever dated a model?
Plus size.
Plus, yeah, right.
No, but no, I never. No, I'm not a model guy.
Yes, you
I like
are.
a weird face. I like a Sarah Jessica Parker. I like a banged up, wacky grill.
Right.
You know, like a girl who's been hit with a shovel, kind of mug.
When you were a kid, who was your girl?
Oh, I liked Salma Hayek.
Ooh.
I did like Angelina. I know that's hacky, but I was real into her.
Why is
but-
that hacky?
Well, everybody says her. Oh, Jennifer Grey, I loved.
Oh, yeah, Jennifer Grey.
With that honker.
That's unusual.
Yeah, and
little
she got
toucan.
a nose job and blew it.
You were pissed about that.
She lost her whole career. The nose was the thing.
Mine was Kathy Ireland. Do you remember
Oh
her?
yeah,
A swimsuit model.
big square head.
Big square head, a big dumb Irish head.
Yes,
I loved
yes,
it, dude.
Jarhead with your
Yeah.
blue beauties.
Big blue eyes. That's what I always looked at, her eyes.
No cans on her really.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah,
No.
I did. That made me.
No boobs, no butt.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Her
I like
legs
a little...
touched her throat. She went. It was all legs.
Yeah.
My dad bought a poster of her one time for me, and then like a jag-off, like such a guy. You forget that your dad is also just a guy.
Right.
Like he gave it to me, and he's like, "Don't let me find it stuck to the wall without glue." You know what I mean? I was like, "All right, get the fuck
That's a
out of here."
cool dad.
Yeah, he was. Well, dude, he saved my life multiple times. Like we would have girls over in the basement because in Chicago, basements where you go to hook up. Like in the
Yeah.
Midwest, it's so funny when I moved out west. There is no basements because the ground is made from sin out here. You know what I mean? So they can't get below the earth.
Their wives are in there.
That's right. But so I was like, God, where do young people go to hook up when they're in high school? Because basement was our respite to like get away from everybody.
Yes.
And one time I had brought a girl home, and I guess I didn't know my parents had come home because they were out for the night. And the next day, my dad like pulled me aside and was like, you know how fucking lucky you are? And I was like, why are you so mad at me? And he's like, you know, your mom was going to come downstairs. We got home at so-and-so.
Oh.
And he goes, and I stopped her and made her come do something with me around the house. And he goes, I had to make up work for her to do just to get you out of it. And I was like, you're one of the greatest men alive.
What a dude! You got your mom in the kitchen, cook, bitch.
Yeah.
And she's like, Jesus Christ, and he's just all for you.
But you know what it really was? He knew that it's not that he didn't want her to catch me. It's more he didn't want to have to deal with it.
Ah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
The embarrassment is one thing, but then it's like now my dad has to deal with my mom being emotional and angry about this and
and
that.
then discipline you.
Right. He's like,
Yeah.
I can just nip this in the bud, be annoyed for another hour, pretending that I'm going to cover up for the kid.
I love this guy.
He's a good man.
The Irish go to the basement, Jew's attic. I read the diary.
How does it end?
I haven't gotten there yet. But you know, I always thought if she was a little older, wouldn't that diary just be full of hand jobs? Like we're lucky they got her when they did. Or
Yeah.
that book would be just finger popping.
Right.
You know? It's a fun thought.
Every single day I got fingered again.
Yeah.
That's all it
and
says.
Even the dad's like, when are the Nazis showing up? Jesus Christ. This is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, the basement hookup with my dad saved my life. My dad
What
did
a
that
guy.
many times. He did that thing. Also, embarrassing. I think I've told that on the show, but my mom caught me with my high school girlfriend getting head.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's fucking is less intimate than head.
Yeah,
For a mom, I think.
Well, it was so weird. My mom walked in the room and I didn't know what to say, and I remember, it was in slow motion almost. Like when she walked in, everything froze, and I was like, how could my brain was like, how do you get out of this? How do you get out of this? You know, it was like spinning. Like, what can I say? And immediately, I just threw the blanket over us, and I was like, just get the fuck out. That's all I said. Get the fuck out.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was it. And my mom was like, oh, my God. And slammed the door. It was so uncomfortable, man.
She's like, I saw my son getting brain.
And then also, my girlfriend was like, so embarrassed and freaked out. And I was
course.
like, but you should.
Yeah.
We're there.
You gotta console me.
I've
been through a lot.
You suck all this out of me, will you? I'm gonna be so sad later. Get some of the sadness out of me.
So do you have a MILF thing now?
No.
Like your wires got crossed. You saw your mom.
No, you know what?
Okay.
Because I was literally like in a panic state. It was fight or flight, and I was like, all I could think about was I don't remember seeing what my mom how angry or upset or shocked she was. It was more like a human presence.
Yes.
And my brain was like, how could you possibly get out of this? And it came up with nothing.
Of course.
Nothing.
I mean, it's a
You're
tough
stuck.
moment.
Yeah, you're out. You never got caught, did you?
My dad caught me yanking it.
Oh, no.
It was a bad yank, too. It was one of those, like, let me really get into it. Like, pants around the ankle, lotion, Kleenex, loud porn. I didn't think he was home. And I was watching MILF porn. So I think he saw it. And he was like, I've been there, you know? And, he was just like, Jesus, holy hell. And I was like, Dad, you know? And I had to waddle to the door and, dong waving.
Pants on the ankles, waddling.
Yeah, bad
doing that
waddle.
penguin walk. It's sad when you got a whole shop set up.
Yes.
The setup is so embarrassing.
It's the worst. And then we had dinner later, and it's such man shit where, like, it never came up. You know, it's like me and my dad are both quiet. My mom's like, "What's up with you two?" And I'm like, "Oh, the Saints lost. You know, we're upset." But we never brought it up again.
That's it. You never spoke about it even as an adult.
Never once.
Do you guys ever have those kind of talks?
No.
No reminiscing of the past.
Very southern, waspy kind of. They were military.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna say anything.
Nah.
Did you? Then we've talked about your old house before though. But then did you grow up? Like, was everything militant? Like, was it clean, like super clean and squeak? No?
Not really. They were kind of hippies who went to the army to see the world.
Oh.
They didn't care about war. They hated fighting. They hated guns. But they're like, we'll get a check and we'll see the world.
That's actually really smart. That's like Ari Shafir. That's basically what he is.
Yeah. But the idea of my mom like doing push-ups for a drill sergeant is insane.
Wow.
She has Crocs on and red glasses, it's and a short gray hair.
Really?
So the idea of her being like G.I. Janing it is insane to me. But
keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, okay? Keep my wife's name out your... That guy, talk about a fucking bounce back, man.
Is
amazing.
he?
He's great. He's fine, dude.
You think?
No one cares.
He's crying on camera. Everything. I'm so sorry.
I think no one cares. He came out with that movie. What was that movie?
It was a slave movie.
Yeah. You directed that, didn't you?
Yeah.
So much experience. I mean, how could they pick from somebody who hasn't done it before?
Right. Well,
we got to get Norman.
Will Smith's used to backlash.
Oh, buddy. God, I love seeing you. Wait, did you come in to promote and to jump around, or did you have something specifically you needed to be here for?
A little of both. I'm jumping around for the special, doing the pods, and then the Ace Theater. I'm doing the Ace Theater on Friday. Oh, wow. Is that tomorrow? What day is it?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Oh, geez. I'm all wonky. Yeah.
The Ace Theater, downtown, right? Isn't it downtown?
Yeah,
I think we've done it once.
Beautiful landscape down there.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
REI is cleaning up.
That's right.
Downtown.
If you are going to the show, this will have already aired, but if you're going to the show, if you have gone to the show, I hope you were able to Uber helicopter in to the gig and get dropped off on the rooftop.
Yeah.
It's the most disgusting part of Los Angeles.
Of course. That's all I hear. Every news story. I'm out in New York, and all I hear is like downtown, Skid Row, fentanyl, stabbings.
Yeah, but it's funny, but you guys normalize that a little bit. I will say the one thing New York does that makes me laugh is like we'll go, like I was on the phone last night and I said, there's a guy on Wilcox, like a homeless guy, running down the street with a baseball bat. And, on the other line, people in LA would be like, oh shit, that's fucked. That's crazy. But like you fucking idiots, so if you say that in New York, they're like, oh, what is that? Are you on the 2? Like, where are you? Oh, yeah. Like they know.
Yes.
I know that guy. I remember that guy. Is he
right.
throwing glass? Like to New York people, it just is like, I know that guy. I've seen that guy. We're at least more shocked by the chaos.
Yeah.
You guys are so embedded with chaos. It's almost like it's a functioning part of society.
It's true. It's just part of it. You got the milkman, the bread guy, and the hobo with the bat.
Right.
We had a guy at McDonald's with a hammer. And then the worst part about New York is they put these guys in jail and they get out in like an hour.
Yeah, they're not going to keep them.
No.
Well, that's New York rules, right? That catch and release program?
Yeah, it's horrible. It used to be stop and frisk.
That's right, baby.
And now it's really flipped and reversed, and now you get in trouble for saying homo or whatever.
Right.
So I'm going to jail for 3 days for saying homo. The hammer guy is out in an hour. It's all backwards. Like Elon Musk got his sign taken down, and the city's in hock. It's like it's San Francisco. You're taking a shit on the sidewalk. Every business is leaving. You can steal $1,000 worth of merchandise, but Elon's sign, whoa,
that big X.
the big X can't have that.
Can't have that big
boy,
X
our
unless it
priorities.
represents a group of people that we're not aware of yet.
Latinx.
That's right.
That's what he should have put, a Latin
Latin
right in the
right
front.
next to it.
He would have been golden.
He just paid a Mexican guy to just hang out on one of those scaffolding right there, just stand right next to it.
Hello, see. Latinx.
Yeah, no, that is so funny. The cherry picking of
Yes.
the new age cherry picking and stuff. And I'm not talking about it from like a cancel point. I'm talking about what people are like okay with. You're like, how are we, California people? How could we be okay with this? We spent like $1 billion on the homeless, on the unhoused last year.
Where's it going?
They're still unhoused.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I have zero idea what it does. But I'll still keep.
I guess.
I keep paying into it. Well, in New York, you guys pay into bullshit too. It's
all day long.
So you would never move though. You're not one of these guys. Like Gillis and those guys are moving to Austin, right?
I heard that. Well, I always hear about LA, all the stereotypes about the traffic and the fires, but you come out here and it's fucking glorious.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Whitney Cummings' pod the other day. Her compound is bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been there?
Yeah. The sadness bounces off the walls. It's so big. you can hear the anxiety echo through her house. Yeah, it's gorgeous. The best part about LA is that.
Yeah.
At the very least, you can have like a little bit of space.
Yeah, just did Bert's thing. He's got a podcast house.
Yeah.
I have an apartment. He has a podcast house and a real house.
That's right.
It's insane. The pool, the hot tub. He's like, you want to get a cold plunge? He's got a dog running around. It's great. His daughters hit on me. And then
Which one though? The younger one, right?
whatever one is goth. I don't know what her name is. But yeah.
Island.
There you go. Island.
Yeah.
Epstein's Island.
Epstein.
And now then I go back to my shit box in New York, but you come out here and it's fucking beautiful. That sunset, the palm trees, Sunset
Tough.
Boulevard, the store is magical, the improv's cooking. It's pretty great.
It is. It's tough to ignore the really good shit here because the good shit here is so fucking good.
Yeah, and Tim Dillon is proof of that. That fat homo. He went down to Texas for 6 minutes and said, "What the hell am I doing here with these shit kickers?"
Well, that's insane.
I'm
He
going to
has
get
no
some-
business down there.
No, what are you kidding?
No. What? By the way, who is he going to hook up with down there?
Hinchcliffe? I don't know. He'll figure it out.
Cut it out. No, it's insane. I think like it's good for some people to shift and go somewhere else. You know, like Theo to Nashville couldn't make more sense.
Perfect.
Couldn't make more sense.
Perfect move. Byrne
Right.
even is making it work down there.
Oh yeah, he's down there. Like I know a guy. You know Dan Cummins. You know who that is?
Yeah.
Dan moved up north
He's
to
a good
Idaho.
guy.
He just wanted to get like. I get it if you can move away to a different pocket, but I feel like if you're chasing the dragon, like a lot of those people did when they go down south,
Right.
specifically to Austin, is you're like, I don't know if this thing is going to have the thing you want because you're going kind of just for one little thing.
Yeah, good point.
But I don't know. McGilly might love it, and he might make a little compound and do, have all of his homies there, and maybe that'll work.
He's very respected, so I think if he goes, it's kind of like Segura too. Segura, but you can't have one guy's not enough. So
Yeah.
you got Gillis, Brian Simpson. The more people who go, it might make it a thing. But right now, it's still
Could do.
on the fence.
Well, you're never going to touch the coasts. It's never going to be here or New York. I mean, it's just not going to. I don't care what people say. It's just that this is where the things started. I don't know what else you want to.
Yeah.
It's tough to get away from it. Like Chicago, people are always like, "Why don't you go back to Chicago?" I love Chicago. It's my city for the rest of my life. I'll love it forever. It doesn't have everything I need there for the machine.
Totally.
It just does. If I didn't need the machine at all, and I just didn't feel like working as much, well, then sure, I could do it. But I don't know. I'm not there. Like
And you've been there, done. It's almost like a girlfriend. Like we had a great time. I
Yeah.
love her, but I got to move on.
But I do. Maybe you go back a few times once in a while. Just dip in, just a few times.
She did give good head in
To
front of your mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What about like I might buy a house in New Orleans? 'Cause
That's great.
It's a great city, but I can't live there. It's too slow and too hot and too humid, and my parents are there. But I might, when they die, I might get a nice little.
Little plot of land.
There you go.
You're planning on their death.
Well, I'm just kidding. They'll never die. They're fucking vampires. But yeah, they hover. They don't walk, and they're terrifying. That's why they my dad.
special, Mark. Did they like your shit?
I think so.
No, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's tough to
Think
say.
you don't know? They've never said, "Hey, man, we liked it." Our friends saw it.
I said, "Hey, Mom, I got a special," and she wrote back, "How long is it?" Which I thought was comedy gold. I was like, "That's fucking perfect."
Like, they
But-
don't ever do the thing where they're like, somebody we know watched your thing. That's really nice.
That they like. When another guy likes it,
Yeah,
they're
correct.
like, hey, our friend Reginald loved it, and he said to pass it along. And I'm like, what about you?
Yeah, no. That's my parents do the same thing. Do they? Well, my parents are probably more openly like, well, we saw that. You know, they actually can't stand it when they're like, how come you don't tell us? Like I did that Netflix show Beef with Allie.
Oh, yeah.
I only did a couple episodes, but they were like annoyed. They were like, why don't you tell us that you do that? I'm like, because it's not my show. I'm just jumping on a show.
Good point.
And also, I don't know, you'll hear about it eventually somehow, some way. So they're like, they more get frustrated they didn't hear it first. They don't give a shit about it. It's not like they're like,
Yeah.
they just want to be like, we get to know first.
Right.
It's like,
okay.
I guess that's
pretty
fine.
good. I
Yeah.
would take that.
I'll let them know first. Yeah, next time I'll start to let them know.
There you go.
I won't. I'm gonna hide everything from them. Just not. I like when they're like, you didn't tell us. It kind of makes me laugh. That I'm
yeah.
like, oh, okay, you got me. You found it.
That's a good point.
It's like
now,
leaving Easter eggs.
now, going back, what city, let's say you didn't do comedy, you got $10 million, you get to live any city in America. Where are you going? No comedy.
Has to be America, huh?
We're going America first.
Because I was gonna say if I could, America first is right, dude. That's right. This, you know who you're voting for in 2024, baby.
There you
America
go.
first.
RFK Jr. Have you seen him shirtless? Come on.
Yeah. Well, I've seen him voiceless. I will say that. I love the guy, but my God, it's really tough to hear.
It's tough. But I kind of got used to it.
Yeah, you did. I still haven't. I feel bad for the guy because I'm like, man, I want to hear what he's saying, but I can't listen for long.
What's funny is the podcast president. I'm like, maybe this guy should have his face out there a little more because the voice is all I'm getting. The ears are ruining me.
Yeah. If I could go anywhere for 10 mil, if I had a bunch of money and I could move anywhere in the United States, but keep working, yeah?
Well,
No.
comedy's tough because then you start going, well, what's the club
That's
there?
my
What's the
point. That's
theater?
where that's
Yeah.
my brain goes. But if you're just saying, if it's like someone's like, we're going to relocate you to just,
Yeah, your choice. You pick.
I would probably do, honestly, if it was just like goofball time I would probably say like somewhere down in Florida.
Oh,
beach
good
life
one.
just beach disappear.
Good one.
Because there's no rules down there. That's nomad land. It doesn't matter.
It's freeing. It's hanging. It's like hanging off the country. It's not
It
even
is.
in, and then you can
Yeah.
feel that when you're there. You're like,
Right.
"Ooh, man, I'm in the dick."
Yeah.
you know, I'm outside the body almost.
I like to say it's the dingleberry of America. It's just it's hanging on.
Yes.
It's dirty, but it's nice. It's
right.
fun.
And then you got Jews, Cubans, old people, hot blondes,
Right.
bath salts, shooting up a nightclub in Orlando. You name it. You got a little everything.
It is one of those places where I just think it's
Hulk
got
Hogan.
all the shit, and that's what I would go for the most is a Hogan.
Yeah, brother.
Brooke Hogan.
I think I'm going San Diego.
Really?
I love it. Well, you got to realize I'm not a California guy, so
Yeah.
to me this is still beautiful and fun and magical.
I love San Diego. It's nice. It's a little too. See, the thing I like about Florida is what San Diego does. San Diego's like very tied up, uppity, white, kind of very everyone. It's very affluent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's obviously racially divided. You know, it's like
Is that right?
Well, it's super wealthy whites,
Uh-huh.
and then a lot of Mexicans because you're close to the border.
Sure.
But like in Florida, it's like every idiot has to live among. It's kind of how New York is, where you're like
That's true.
every asshole lives right next to each other.
It's kind of like warm New York, really.
Yeah, it's hot New York. Yeah,
Hot New York with a beach and no skyscrapers.
Right. So I think I love San Diego. I have so much love for that city. It's so fun. But my fear is how like you would get culturally bored because living in New York, dude,
really?
you get all the shake.
I got everything, baby.
I like it, dude. It's nice to get some of the shake. That's what's still sexy to me about LA is you still have to intermingle with everybody.
I do like that, yeah.
But down there, you're isolated. Then again, maybe that's what you want. You want to be near all whites.
maybe,
Just say it. Mark,
maybe
just say it.
Well, I've done my New York time. I grew up in New Orleans, which is like, a chocolate city.
Yeah.
And then, so maybe I need some white in my life.
Let's get you some white in your life.
All right. Yeah. Give me some Birkenstocks, a hacky sack, and I'm going to kiss a dog on the mouth.
Well, then you got to get a longboard. You'll be one of those guys.
Ah.
See, that's what you're already not liking it.
All right, I'm out.
Do you like the band Sublime?
I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad fish.
Bad fish, yeah. Bad fish.
40 ounces of freedom. All right, you talked me out of San Diego. Just that one idea of a longboard.
You longboard Mark, because all your buddies would come over and they'd be like, dude, we're going to go down to a fucking local brewery, get an IPA. They all sound like
yeah,
that.
I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
out.
gone.
Okay.
So where are you really going to go?
Well, Philly's nice. No. Maybe I'll go to Detroit. Florida's a pretty good call. Boy, you got me there.
Because here's why Florida. And if you wanted me, you should have made me do a city because a city's better than I did a state. That's not fair. If I'm going to do a city,
Tampa, Miami.
St. Pete's and Tampa's pretty great.
St. Pete's is great.
I think St. Pete's might be muy bueno because it's got the chaos of Tampa.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be in it. You can just go
Right.
back to St. Pete's.
And
you
the
know,
beach is beautiful. The
It
people
is.
are beautiful.
that Western Coast. They said that the Gulf of Mexico this year was the hottest water it's ever been. What did we say? We looked it up that day on the show. It was 103.
The water was?
It was. So here's what's wild. A scientist, one of these scientists that was like, they do the metrics of the temperature changes, and they've got all these buoys out in the water. And I guess one of the buoy read like over 100. And the guy was like, ugh, get a guy out there to fix it. That buoy's obviously broken.
Yeah.
And they checked, and it was 31 other buoys registered the exact same temperature.
Wow.
But they didn't pay attention because they thought that's
Right.
broken. There's no way.
Eee, that's
What was it,
scary.
the Gulf? What was it? What did it get up to? Did it say?
In here, we pour whiskey, whiskey.
This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Rabbit Hole. Rabbit Hole. I've talked about this sauce for quite a long time now. Introducing Rabbit Hole and their one-of-a-kind bourbon and rye whiskeys, baby. You've seen me sip this on the show. I enjoy sharing this with guests, and that's why I want you to try it for yourself. It's a sleek bottle. It's great to grab, by the way. I really do enjoy it. Kaveh Zamanian, Rabbit Hole's founder and whiskey maker, gave up a 25-plus year career as a clinical psychologist to pursue his lifelong passion to craft the world's finest spirits. And did he do it? He did. Instead of buying aged whiskey, he went all in, learning from the best to develop his own recipes. No shortcuts, no compromise. Last year, he inducted into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame's 20th anniversary class. Come on, baby. It's pretty legendary. Rabbit Hole's mission is to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, the extraordinary, if you will. And their whiskeys prove it. Original mass bill recipes, signature multigrains, aged in hand-selected charred and toasted barrels. Just award-winning small batch whiskey made with passion and love. You can tell when you taste this stuff. If you're looking for a whiskey with a new perspective, skip the ordinary and sip the extraordinary. They got 4 distinct expressions. I think we were sipping on some of this High Gold, which is, I love this High Gold. It's award-winning high rye, double malt bourbon. It's very unique. It's not your traditional spin bourbon like the Cave Hill, which is very good as well. That's their 4-grain triple malt. They also have Boxer Grail. That's their sour mash rye. Good stuff. And their Derringer. If you like something a little bit sweeter, I dare to say, it's award-winning bourbon finished in PX sherry casks. And those sherry casks are Pedro Jimenez, by the way. So it tastes sweet and smooth. Those notes of cherry are delish on your tongue. You've got to try it. I really do enjoy Rabbit Hole. Go to rabbitholedistillery.com/drizzly. Use that code RABBIT for $5 off your first order. Or go to rabbitholedistillery.com. Check out where Rabbit Hole is sold in your area. It's sold all over the place. So go grab this comfy bottle. Fits right in the palm of my hand. This like Shaq holding a basketball. I love this stuff. It's really good. Drink responsibly. Jump down the rabbit hole with me. This episode of Whiskey Ginger is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online, whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand. Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. I've been using Squarespace for a while. I've been telling you about Squarespace for a while. And here's the best part about it. It makes it so simple to have multiple categories to connect with the audience, your fans, your customers, or those that are just intrigued to see what you're up to or what you're making, whether you're a personal trainer looking to schedule times with clients, or your website, you're an analytics guy that works with fraud protection for banks, or whatever you're trying to push out to the world to let them know you have a service available or products available. Squarespace is the place to create your own site to show off what you got going on. They got an online store if you're looking to sell products like merch. They have an asset library. You can upload, organize, and access all your content from one place with a new asset library. You're able to manage all your files from one central hub and use them across the Squarespace platform. Pick and drop, pick and drop. It's pretty beautiful, and the templates are incredible. They got a video collection. You can host content, organize a video library, showcase all those videos on beautiful video pages, and sell access to your videos through member areas. Keep it private if you'd like. I really enjoy personally the analytics. I've said this before on the show, but I love it. You can use the insights to help grow your business. I get to see where you guys are. You learn the site visits and where they're coming from. And you can analyze which the channels that you have are most effective, building a marketing strategy to blast out to see you guys based on the top keyword search and the products that you like and the videos that you click. Helps me get to you faster so I can come do live comedy and show off all my new jokes for you guys. So you're looking to make a site? Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Once again, squarespace.com for a free trial. If you're ready to launch, go, hey, I'm going to go to squarespace.com/whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. No, but the water was so hot, though. That's the only problem is the Gulf is, I like What? 93.
That's high.
That's insane.
That's wild, but I bet it felt good.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. See, I like the ocean to be give me a little crisp.
A little brisk.
I want that. I want to lose my breath a second.
Yeah, no, I like that too.
Speaking of which, did you jump in Bert's cold tub?
I put my leg in and I jump right out. It's crazy.
I don't get it. I've tried it once.
Yeah.
It's not for
You
me.
go all the way?
I did all the way. I did all the way up here. You know,
That's good.
I don't do the head thing. To me is
Nah, it's dangerous.
Animal. I did up to like right here. I didn't do a lot of neck. Honestly, it was just like at my tits. But even that, I did maybe. I think I timed it and it was just shy of a minute.
That's impressive.
Well, but I did it just to see if I could do it. I hated every second of it.
Of course.
I was pissed. It was. I got out mad.
Yeah.
It wasn't like.
Oh, you didn't have a spiritual awakening?
No, fuck no.
You
No,
felt great all day, awake, alive.
No, I transitioned. My dick was gone. No, it was, dude. I hated it. I'm a heat guy. I got in the sauna for life.
Love a sauna.
Dude,
love a hot tub.
sweat me out, baby.
Yeah,
No,
steam room.
I don't like the fucking freeze. I know the freezing is good for I've done one of the cryo things. You know the
Oh, I never
cryo
done that.
chambers.
The Han Solo.
Yeah, dude, pretty cool. It's that actually I felt more physically beneficial in my bones than the cold tub thing. I feel like it was almost like too harboring. Where where the cryo it's difficult, but you do it and you can kind of mentally get through it. But for me, I figured you'd have to do the cold tub all the time like those guys do for it to work.
Yeah.
Cryo, you can do once in a while and it's still great for you.
Don't you hate this guy, though? But you're from Chicago. I thought you liked the cold.
fucking
Shut
idiot.
up.
Guy's
I
a
hate
fucking
that.
idiot. Yeah.
On a hot day, I'm like, ooh, it's hot. Oh, you're from Louisiana? What the hell? I'm like, well, so's my dad. He sucks, you know? Like, what does that mean? I still hate heat.
Yeah, but I got out of it. That's what my whole thing is like. I got out of it.
Right.
They're like, oh, you should be able to put up. I was like, no, I don't live there anymore.
Yeah,
I don't,
exactly.
That's not my life anymore.
Great point.
My life is here now.
Yeah, it's like when Cindy Crawford's from Indiana. Yeah, but she left. She's gone. She's not there anymore. She went to L.A. when she was 11.
Yeah, I did. That old theory bothers me. Also, when people attach a thing to you, like somebody said to me the other day, they're like, "Oh yeah, nobody likes deep dish pizza anyway." And I was like, I don't know if people know this in America. Chicagoans don't eat deep dish pizza like people think we eat it. Like that is to us what I guess like, you know, I'm trying to make a good comparison, but we eat it maybe like once.
Cheesesteaks? You think Philly guys are eating cheesesteaks for lunch every day?
Well, some of those fuckbags are.
Yeah,
Have
I
you seen
guess
those
you're
fat
right.
fucks?
Yeah, they're
no.
pretty gross.
For us, it's like it's like once in a very great while. Like no one does that. There's this misconception that like that Chicago style pizza. I told this to a friend the other day. What we have, it's called tavern style or pub style pizza, right? They're square cut, they're super thin crust.
Yeah.
It's really crispy and burnt on the. That's Chicago
nice.
style pizza.
Okay.
If you ask someone from Chicago, particularly someone that's like born and raised generationally there, not a kid from Iowa who moved there, which is like 90% of fucking Chicago, they will tell you that pub pizza or tavern pizza is what really we grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have deep dish until like a birthday party when I was 14 or something.
Right.
If kids had pizza ordered to their house, it was always square cut, thin crust pizza.
Really? No Domino's, none of that shit.
Not really. Most Chicago people, I mean, at least the way we grew up, like most Chicago people get tavern style, pub style,
Really?
mom and pop shop pizza
I
places.
love that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's more of those than you think. I mean, yeah, Pizza Hut and Domino's existed and people did get them. But I feel like if you were over at a friend's house and you were at a sleepover, they would order a local mom and pop pizza joint.
That's great.
That was kind of what I was always used to. So then when I got older and then I heard how everyone thought like that was our shit, I was like, we almost never eat that shit.
Right.
It was kind of weird. Like my parents and I would go once a year as like a fun, go to Lou Malnati's. It was like a fun night out. It'd be like, I don't know. It's very strange.
I
but
get it. I mean, I have that with New Orleans. People are like, oh, you probably had an alligator for a pet. I'm like, no, we never had an alligator. I had a dog, you retard. What are you talking about? But
my neighbor's alligator ate my dog.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
No.
But, you know, I went to New York. Nobody said, forget about it. You know, you're like, no, it's a bunch of Indian people and shit, you know. No one talks like that. Even the Italians don't do that.
No. Well, it is so. They just want to put it on you because it's what they know the most.
Right.
Although sometimes the stereotypes.
Sometimes they click in.
They click so hard. Some of them
Yeah.
are so true. Like it is true when you go down to Texas, which I go to in the morning. Texas is so fucking happy about itself. Like
Texas
they
is Texas.
love Texas. Dude.
They really do. We're bigger. We got the belt buckle, the hat. Oh, we hate abortion, the whole thing.
Yeah, and we go down there. We kill babies right in front of them, dude. We can't wait to get down there, dude.
Yeah.
I'm having my lady hold one in right now. Hold it in.
I see a little arm hanging out. Yeah, Texas is definitely Texas, especially like a Dallas or a Houston, or like Plano. Austin's obviously its own thing, but you get to like Corpus Christi.
Oh boy.
That's Tejas.
Yeah. Like we went down to South Padre Island in Texas. You ever been down there?
No.
That's by the border. That's Tex-Mex. That's basically a complete blending of the most southern Texas and the most fresh off the boat Mexicans. Like a ton of people that didn't speak a lot of English. So you go to places where it's no English spoken because it's basically a border town. I mean, you cross a big fucking bridge, which I did, and thank God someone's watching. I got so drunk at spring break and jumped in the bed of a pickup truck. And as I'm going across this bridge going like 95 miles an hour, I realize the guy that picked us up, I've never met before. I don't know this guy. He was drunk.
Yeah, there you go.
Not happy about it. I'm not
Sure.
saying I'm not proud moment, but I'm on this bed of this old F-150 in the back, and I'm thinking one slight move.
Oh yeah, you're like a migrant.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And
You're getting the real experience.
Bing, 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 I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we crossed the border and then into a place called Matamoros.
I've been there.
You've been to Matamoros? That's right across the border.
I got blown by a trans person there.
Whoa. Story.
I was in college, and we used to, Mexico and Louisiana, not that far away. So we drive through Texas and go to Mexico.
Yeah.
And all my friends were getting hookers. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. And then eventually, about the third day, I'm so drunk, I was like, fuck it. I go in. I'll get a BJ. She's blowing me. I touch the hair, it moves. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I grab a tit, it's harder than that fucking apple box. And I'm like, oh, weird. And I'm like looking at it's like real jaw line, and I was like, oh, that's weird. A little 5 o'clock shadow. Finish, jizz in the condom. I walk out, and my friends are like out in the square eating tacos, and they're like, were you in there? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, ah! They all fucking lose it. They're like, that's a tranny bar, rah,
No.
And I was like, ah, shit. And it was a real quiet 8-hour car ride.
But you liked the blowjob.
It was they know the equipment.
Yeah, they've been
know?
there. Yeah, they've been there.
It was hot.
Well, with a condom on, thank God.
Yes.
Do you feel like that saved you from some of your shame?
Yeah, it's less gay.
Yeah.
Because I never had the man lip on me. No man lips.
Until after the show. When we wrap the show up, you know what I'm doing, baby.
Yeah.
I'm sucking.
Right. Get that finger in me.
I never had one of those experiences. I never had a little trickery, but I've had a few friends that have had some trickery thrown at them like that. Where they went in for one thing, didn't know. But Mexico, dude, Mexico will get you every time.
Oh, yeah. They're convincing.
I mean, it's got to happen way more in like, when they go to like Thailand and stuff like that. People love going to Thailand.
Forget about
going to
it.
get ladyboys.
Ladyboy.
Would you go get a ladyboy knowing it's a ladyboy?
No,
They look pretty beautiful,
They're
dude.
very cute and pretty, but I like a nice gash.
You like a good old slit.
Yeah, give me a clam.
Slit Guy.
Yeah.
That's your next special. Please watch Mark Norman Slit Guy, available now on all streaming platforms. It is so funny. We're like, in the middle of the actors' strike, and part of the whole thing was like non-promotional SAG projects.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so funny because we've always been the dirty little step brother.
Yes.
No one liked us. No one gave a shit about stand-ups.
So true.
We are meaningless in the business. And now there were people on the internet chattering about stand-ups, like, are stand-ups going to be able to perform? Are they still going to do podcasts? And it's like, dude, no one cared about us.
Aha.
So we're going to continue to do what we're going to do because we were never accepted into that club anyway.
Exactly. It was cool kids. It was kind of elitist, if I
Yes,
might
it
say. A
was.
lot of
Yes, it was.
Harvard and all that.
Yeah.
And then now I see a bunch of writers at the clubs going,
Yeah.
I'd like to get up again. You're like, whoa, welcome back to the gutter, motherfucker.
Right,
We've been here the whole time.
Right, we never left.
We never left. We do the road. We're blue collar. We're out here. You
We're
guys
scum.
have been in air conditioning and writing for Two Broke Girls for the last 8 years. And we've been just churning out dick jokes like fucking journeymen.
Yeah, that's right. The journeyman dick joke writers.
Yeah.
Our forefathers would have been proud.
Hell yeah.
No, but it is true that it's like I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot the other. I still work in the TV world.
You're the actor guy.
Well, I'm happy that they're out there striking and doing their thing. I think it's great, but it's
Of
also like
course.
I can't stop the thing I started at. This is what I loved. It was the thing I loved. It was the only thing
Yeah.
I really cared about.
Totally.
I got into the other side of it because I enjoyed it. I
And
was
you're good at it.
pretty
You're a good
at
actor.
it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I do like that world, but I remember there all the chatter about what are people going to do in this world, and I thought, dude, comics have almost never. I mean, look at the agents. Like when we started these podcasts and all this stuff, none of the agents or managers
no.
wanted to fuck with us.
No, they're like, oh, how's it pay? No, it doesn't pay yet. I wouldn't do it.
And they're like, when is it going to pay? And you're like, maybe never. I mean, I'll lose money for a couple of years.
Yeah, yeah.
And we all lost a lot of money.
Totally.
I remember calling Rogan panicking about when I started this thing, like, hey, man, I don't know if I can afford to do podcasting. And he was like, you trust me? And he kept, pushing me about it. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm paying this rent on this place I can't afford.
Exactly.
I was like, I have to hire someone to do this.
These aren't cheap.
No, nothing.
All this
But
shit.
nothing was editing and all this stuff and putting it out and the cameras and the lights and the studio's time, and it got overwhelming and I almost quit. And he was like, just lose a little bit of money for a little while, and I promise you it'll even out. It'll work itself out. And it did, but it's like I got no support from that. Nobody. My manager didn't give. He was like, hey man, that's a you thing. I go, can you maybe fish to get me a studio deal with like?
Yeah.
Back then they didn't want to do anything of it.
They didn't get, and they'd be like, do this radio show, do Mike in the Morning or Bob and Tom, and you're like, that does nothing.
It does nothing,
That
dude.
doesn't help me, but they're so old school. That's how they thought it worked.
Those antiquated systems.
Yes.
And then now, but the world is anew, baby.
We're cockroaches. We just kept adapting. Is that a thing? We'll do that. I'll try this. I'll try that. I'll go outside. I'll do a show in the park. I'll go on the roof. I'll make it work, and nobody believed in us. We're like immigrants.
Yeah.
We had to figure it out. Oh, maybe there's a buck over here. Maybe there's something over there.
Yeah, and we keep doing it. That's our shit for the rest of time.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Hey,
cheers to
mazel.
Mark Norman, the true immigrant.
Yeah. Send me money. But I feel for the writers. I hope they get paid, and
They deserve it, man.
they deserve the residuals.
No, they do. Well, dude, they also deserve that, and also these studios. They know what they're doing, these fuckers. They've been doing this for so long now, dude. They've been ripping people off for so long.
Yeah.
Writers and actors. They've been fucking stealing from us for so long. And it will level out at some point.
It will.
But anyway, now that you've got the special out, I'm curious to know, just because I'm inquisitive of Norman's ways. Do you
Please.
have a new hour already?
No, and that's actually
But you're close.
A point of contention. I got about a half, 35 of 5, 6, 20 of shit.
Yeah,
But I got a decent 30, and your agents are so bloodthirsty. They're like, special's doing well. Here's 1 million theaters. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, what do I got to do for these theaters? I feel so guilty because they're paying a hard ticket, and I'm out there going, is this something?
Yeah.
How about that? What about this? Lizzo, huh? Jonah Hill, oh boy, And I feel guilty, but apparently that's kind of what you do.
No, but I mean, everyone's kind of working through, dude. And also, there's no timeline of when it's going to be back to the thing, right? Like, I put mine out at the beginning of the year. I've probably got 45 or so.
That's good. That counts.
Yeah, I know, but it's like you, where you're like, I talked to him right before this, and I was like, there's some stuff in there that I adore, and there's some stuff that I'm like,
It's filler.
I don't like it. They think it's okay, but even
Okay.
I'm like, I don't really like this as much. I don't like it because it's not done. It's, you know what I mean? It's
of course. But
it's al dente.
that will fall off the bone eventually, and you'll replace it with shit you do like.
Correct.
But you got to have that placeholder.
Oh yeah, you
at
don't
the
have a
moment.
choice.
You
Yeah,
don't have a choice.
You have to fight upriver, man.
You got to fill the time. You're in a knife fight up there.
Well, like when we did Bert's thing, and we did like 20 on that or whatever, and I had like I kept mixing a bunch of other random shit.
Yeah.
And that's fun to do because you're figuring it out. There's almost no pressure because you're on
Sure.
somebody else's shit. But it did kind of make me look back after the tour was over and just be like, fuck, I should have been working a little bit harder.
No,
because
you were killing.
I was taken for granted, though. I was kind of like, I know this thing works. I really like this. I could have worked in more shit that I've been trying.
Yeah.
Because it helps on a huge scale. Sometimes working in...
That's true. Isn't that funny?
Sometimes if it's so big that you're like, it will either do very well if it's good, or
Yeah.
it'll just be, oh, that's okay. And then you
Yes.
know, you're like, it's not that good.
Well, those arenas let you know what's your A and what's your A minus and what's your B and what's your C.
100%. Right.
You can feel it.
You don't really get that on a smaller room. The smaller room is good for your timing and for your little inflections or your like the changes that you make. You're like,
Yeah.
you can feel it better there. But that is true. The big ones you can feel so obviously what's an A minus that you're like, I can tell they really like it, but something is amiss.
Yeah, of
Something's
course.
out.
Exactly.
Are you doing the
Cruise?
The cruise? The
yeah,
booze cruise?
I'm nervous about it, but I'm doing it.
So you're going to, but for people that are listening, Mark and I did Bert's tour, the fully loaded, but now they're going on a boat to the Bahamas, right?
Bahamas,
Yeah.
Cancun.
I'm not going to be there, sadly. They asked me if I wanted to go.
What? We need you there.
I
'cause
can't, dude.
It's a good group.
I know it's great. I just can't do it because I'm already doing dates. So
Oh,
I
okay.
can't cancel the dates. But I felt bad because Leanne called and we were talking and she was like, "We really want to have you," and I was like, "I just don't think I can, man."
Yeah, yeah.
I would have to move some shit, and we've already moved on Bob and I's tour. I already moved dates from that. It's like once you fuck over a city once.
Oh yeah, you can't do it again.
You can't do it twice.
No, no.
It's like they'll kill you, dude. It's like, they'll write you off forever. Like I said one jokingly bad thing about Pittsburgh, and for some reason, man, Pittsburgh people on the internet were like, oh, we don't even come back. I'm like, oh, dude, I love you. Shut up. I'm just kidding. Jesus
Typing
Christ.
with a hoagie.
Yeah.
I love Pittsburgh. That's a great town.
I do too. I mean, yeah. No, I've had no problem. But I made one shitty joke, and then it just they took it. But you're gonna be on the boat. Which have you done a cruise before?
I did the Joker's cruise, and it was fucking wild. I mean,
it's
it's
nuts,
Sin
right?
City out there because it's international waters. It's uncharted. There's no rules.
Right. See, but you're with the fans too.
Yeah, that part sucks.
Yeah.
Because it's like a little neighborhood, and you keep bumping into the same people, and you're on your third show, like, you again?
Yeah.
Oh, and you start knowing people. You see them at the buffet, and it's weird.
See, that would be a little tough for me. My anxiety would eat
Way
me
up.
alive. Yeah.
And then you drink to quiet the thoughts, and that doesn't help. Now you're the boat guy going, hey, Tammy, how about that anal, you know? It's not good.
She's like, I'm captaining the ship, sir. Please go back to your... Did you watch... why can't I think of the movie right now? Everything Everywhere All at Once? No.
Oppenheimer?
No.
Barbie?
Triangle of Sadness, man. I saw him consecutively. That's why I'm saying that.
I saw it on half on a plane. I dozed off. I thought it was fun.
Dude, it was a good movie. The problem I had with it was, Woody's in it for fucking 5 seconds, and apparently, because the whole time, people that haven't seen it, it's a great movie, but it starts on a boat. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
But the whole time you watch Woody and you're like, man, I want to see him so much more.
He's the best.
But they only had so much time with him, is what I've heard, that they had a limited amount of time to shoot with. You look it up how many days they had. I mean, I think they said it. Somebody said it was only like 3 days or something. They had to get rid of him. But you're like, whatever money you can find, go get it.
Of course.
Let the guy stay. Because he plays like an alcoholic boat captain.
Really?
Oh, dude, it's brilliant. And he's so not fake drunk. You know fake drunk in movies?
Hey, what's up, everybody? And another thing.
Yeah, and you're like, cut it out.
Yeah.
Has that guy never been drunk in real life? You know?
Right.
That's why you let what's his name do that shit from Jaws and get fucking wrecked.
Yeah,
But they had him in there for such a short amount of time that I was like, man, I want to see the cat. I want to see him really go out on this world, because he was shitting on wealth and privilege and being able to live at sea and all this stuff. It was so funny and so well written. It was like a comic.
Yeah.
It was like a bit almost.
Well, he is hilarious. I mean, White Men Can't Jump is one of my top 5.
The original.
The original. Jesus. I didn't even count the second one. Good Lord. But yeah, it's so good, and he is so good in it, and he's funny.
So funny, man.
So funny. Wesley was great. I mean, that movie, Rosie Perez with the side boob.
Come
get
on.
out of here.
How hot was that?
I love that movie.
Come on, Billy.
Ah, God.
Come on, Billy. You don't believe in me, Billy? It actually made me really like Jeopardy. I got to tell you. I started watching Jeopardy from
Foods that start with the letter Q.
What is a quince? What is a quiche?
Yes, exactly.
Hold on. Before we
And
keep
a
going,
hookshot.
for 1 second, you got to go get him some more ice. I need to pour him a little bit more, please. There's your publicist out there.
Oh, I call him Jewish Pacino.
Giucino.
Yeah.
Yes, a Giucino. Kind of looks like Jewish Pacino. I'm gonna play you a clip real fast too, because you brought that up about
White men?
Pacino.
Oh.
When you called him Jewish Pacino. This is great. Do you know director William Friedkin?
Oh, I've heard the name.
I put this clip on I put this on the internet. I put this on my Instagram the other day. Listen to how funny this is, what he says about Pacino.
I don't give a flying fuck into a rolling donut about what Al Pacino thinks.
I don't give a flying fuck into a rolling donut.
Wow.
Director William Friedkin. Yeah.
Oh,
French,
okay.
yeah.
So he's a legend.
But just the way he says it, the alliteration is so good. Flying fuck, the way he does it.
Yeah.
I don't give a flying fuck into a rolling donut.
He hits
about
that
what
K.
Al Pacino thinks.
So apparently he didn't give a fuck about Pacino and went off on how much
I love that old Hollywood
he hated
shit.
working with him, and said I wouldn't give him the time of day. But he was like Tommy Lee Jones. I listened to every fucking word he had to say because the guy paid attention to the work. But it was wild to hear that. I've never heard someone shoot at Pacino like that.
Yeah.
You've heard people say stuff about famous actors where you're like, he's not that good to work with. He's
Totally.
okay. I've never seen a guy be so. I mean, but listen. He's accomplished. It's kind of fun to hear someone accomplished go, fuck that guy. You're like, oh, shit. You never hear that, you know?
It's like comedy. There's always beefs and feuds and, personalities are colliding all the time, and that's going to happen with showbiz. And these are all, like, old school dudes.
Well, they've been working, and they've also worked in the game. Like, he this is at a point in his life where he's already made a wealth of films.
Yeah.
So at some point, I think just like in comedy or any business, people at home, whatever business you're in, you've been working in the same sales job for 22 years. There's a guy in the office that you're like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, of course.
That guy sucks. People think he's great. He's a scam.
Right.
That guy fucking stinks.
Yes.
And everyone's like, that guy stinks. And you're like, that guy fucking stinks. Like I talk to my friends at home that have, like real regular jobs, and there's always internal fucking drama. There's always like something small that's going on.
Have you heard the Bill Burr and Mike Birbiglia fighting on O&A?
No.
Oh, it's a classic. I mean, it's 20 years old now, but it's like Bill Burr is on, they're both on, and Birbiglia is doing like the aw shucks guy, and he's like, shut the fuck
Oh, I do
up.
remember this. Yeah.
And then Birbiglia asked Bill Burr to open for him at Caroline's, and he's like, I'm bigger than you. Why would I open for you? And it's just gold. And it's something you've always wanted to say to some like newer comic.
Yeah.
And he just gets it all on the radio. It's great.
Well, that's like you and I have talked about that clip of Dennis Miller.
Yeah. Yes.
and Geraldo, and he's like, it's kind of what we're doing here, Dennis. Oh, it's
not Miller.
No, I'm sorry.
What's his name? From Rescue Me.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Leary.
Dennis
Yeah,
Leary. Sorry,
yeah.
not Dennis Miller. And he goes, it's kind of what we're doing here, Dennis. This guy, look at this guy. He's fucking like writing jokes backstage.
Yeah. He's wearing sunglasses. You're like, get out of here.
It's kind of what we do here, man.
Oh,
that was cool. Yeah, the internal things that happen. But you don't have any beef with anybody. Who's your beef with, dude? Go ahead and give it up.
Ralphie May and me.
What happened to him?
You know, I gave him a few pills, and the rest is history. But I try to. I just want to tell jokes and get drunk and go home.
God, does that sound good?
Oh. I hate all the
tell
other
jokes,
shit.
get drunk, and then go home.
Yeah, it's the top three. It's like Jay Leno always says, write joke, tell joke, get check. That's all comedy is.
Yeah, but this guy never spent a fucking check in his life. No, he only spent stand-up checks. That was
That was it.
He told that to Neil on his show about how he never still spent any of the Tonight Show money today.
Great episode, yeah.
But it's still shocking because you're like, you didn't dip into one of those checks for one of those 40 cars you got? What do you mean?
40. If we're try 500.
Yeah, he's got too many.
He's got motorcycles, cat gut, like all these motors with cat gut and shit. He's got an old fire engine. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, what you need, he's got a short bus. You know that?
No,
he does not. No. Would be fun though.
Hey! Bleep that.
Kicking a soccer ball. No, so but you're one of those guys. By the way, we've talked because we have the same romanticism of cars. You've got a 2002. You know, I've always, we've said this. I've said this to you many times. I've always been on the hunt for a 1985 325e, which was my first little toy that I was able to get.
Oh, you got it.
Well, I don't have it now, but I want it again. But everyone I find is in terrible condition.
Yeah, they're out there. I mean, what's that? Garage? What's that?
Bring a trailer.
Bring a trailer.
Yeah,
that's where I got mine.
See, the problem is some of the ones are so. This is car inside baseball talk, but some of the times when you go back to finding a car from 40 years ago, they're either in such immaculate condition they've been restored, and now they're worth so much money where you're like, I don't know if I can pay that kind of money for
$700,000.
Yeah, or they're in just atrocious condition, and I'm not Mr. Fix It.
I think you're better off. I'm not either, but I bought mine and it was a little banged up, and I sent it right to a guy I know, and
Fixed it up.
He fixed it up for a nominal fee, but it was still pretty reasonable.
Be honest with me. How much did you put into the car?
I bought it for $14K, which is low. The
That's
guy was
very
furious.
low. Yeah.
I got it at 3 in the morning. I stayed up all night. I had a whiskey and I was just like laptop in the dark, light in my face, and I got it. I beat out some fucking divorcee cunt. And then I shipped it to New York, which was another $2,000.
Where was it from?
San Francisco.
Oh my God.
So it was a California car.
All right.
But I got it out here, and then I sent it to a guy I know who's like a car wizard, and he's like, it's gonna be a lot of money. And I said, just do it and tell me later. And he did it all in for 11,000, which he said without it would have been like 20. So thank you, sir. And then now it's
you
want
to plug him, by the way? What's his name? You can plug him. You don't remember it?
It's Andrew Schuster, but I can't remember the name of his shop.
Shout out to Andrew Schuster right there in his shop in where is it, in New York?
And I was in Jersey.
Jersey.
So I put it right over the
Union
bridge.
City.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now he's in Philly.
Yeah. Oh, Schuster moved up. Thanks to your check. Yeah,
Exactly. He's killing it.
He's able to go to crack a bell.
It fucking runs like a Kenyan. I mean, this thing never has broken down. Not one problem with it.
Do you know anything about the engine or anything like that, or no?
Not really. I know it's a 4-banger, and it's
what a fun toy.
It's so fun. It's like a little go-kart. They're so small and light. I'm
they are.
bopping all around New York. I'm over the Brooklyn Bridge. Woo!
I had that when I had that 325. We used to put because the nowadays trunks have safety mechanisms where you have to be able to get out from the inside.
Right.
You know, because so many fucking morons have gotten stuck in a trunk somehow.
Good for kids.
Yeah, 100%. Well, dude, we used to put our buddies in there. You know, we would convince like the dumbest kid to get back there, and I'd be like, "We can open up the middle, so you can get through the middle."
Right.
You know? You couldn't.
Ah.
The whole seat would have to unclamp, and so people would be sitting in there, and they'd be like, "Come on, man!" And then, of course, you know, we'd go do donuts in a fucking field, and because it was rear-wheel drive. That thing is yours. Yours is too.
Yeah,
It was rear-wheel drive, so that thing, dude, we'd sit and spin for an hour. The tires were bald because I never changed the tires. I couldn't afford them. So they were bald tires. Anything was wet in Chicago, like in the winter, dude, I'd sit and spin for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I would just spin in a field, and you'd hear, and then you just, cut it out. It's so fucking mean.
It's you and sex traffickers. They're back there banging around, you know.
That's why sex traffickers, they always love cars from the 80s. They're like, they can't get out of the back, baby.
Yeah.
You keep them trapped, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of which, I am selling some furniture right now. You can go to my website and buy some stuff off wayfarer.com. I'm selling full dressers,
I forgot about
chested
that.
dressers.
Wow.
It was like dressers and nightstands that they were like 30 grand for a nightstand.
Right, and had a Russian chick all banged up in there, like twisted.
It's insane. It's crazy the theories that got kicked around about was it Wayfarer, right? It was one of those.
Yeah.
The fact that was like under investigation for actually could have turned out to be this real big deep conspiracy, which who God knows, is so funny because it's right. It is like anything at that crime level. It's always right in front of your face.
I know.
They just you never know. It's like Whitey Bulger. Didn't they catch him living like in Venice Beach or something like that in an apartment?
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
There wasn't Whitey Bulger.
Or some mob guy. It might have been an Italian guy.
Yeah, no, Whitey Bulger, right? Ask me where he got. Show me where he got found. But he was living in like a beachside town in a condo in like a very, heavily foot traffic. Santa Monica.
Oh,
right?
there you go.
Yeah, the guy was living in a fucking
Wow.
condo by the beach.
Well, it's pre-internet. Who's gonna know Whitey Bulger?
But isn't that crazy though? If he's living, yeah, it wasn't that long ago when
I
they
didn't
got
know
him.
that.
They finally got him after so long. But how funny, he was living in broad daylight.
That's amazing.
Like, didn't change, no disguise, no. He looked pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Just fucking got a place in Santa Monica and was like, whatever. If they get me, they get me.
It's like Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy would kill a sorority girl, bang her over the head with a brick, and then he would get on a bus and go to Florida. And then do it there, and then get on a bus and go to Utah and do it
insane.
there. It was crazy. It was
Yeah,
so
the guy just moved
freewheeling.
about freely. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a priest with pedophilia. They're like, oh, all right, I'll go over here now. Sorry. I didn't-
you live there.
Yeah.
I just saw that on the news. They said the Pope finally denounced all of the deplorable actions of the church. Read this. It's so funny. There was a headline that came up. It popped up on the TV, and it was like, the Pope recognizes egregious past or whatever. You're like, what was the change?
Yeah, what does that do, by the way? You recognized it.
Yeah, I
You know?
recognize. I know that it's happening.
Yeah. O.J. Simpson's out on the field. I recognize that he killed that lady, and he's just still swinging.
Yeah.
Who cares if you recognize it? Go get him.
He's still putting videos up on the internet. It's so wild to think that
Oh,
guy's he is peak don't give a fuck.
Yes.
He's like, I got away with it. I guess now I'm free. And
Hey,
like
Twitter world.
I don't want to say I don't want to regulate anything I do or say anymore. I see him sometimes. He makes comments about public things that are happening.
Yeah.
So
And
weird.
Every comment is just knife. It's so funny. Yeah, exactly.
Mark, we got shows tonight.
Ooh, baby.
We got a couple of shows, but I want to remind people. I want to take a second to say this. Not that this needs to be said. You're an old friend. You're a good buddy. I love you. This has been the best podcast you've done so far because it's funny and fun and
That's
engaging.
true. This was a good one.
And you love to fire with me, baby.
Yeah,
We always
Bobby,
have a good time.
Bobby, I did Bobby. He got a little too real.
Oh, did he really?
Well, we were laughing for the first half hour, and then the second half hour, he was like, "Look at me, let me talk to you." And you're like, "Oh shit, he's doing that Asian thing on me. That's voodoo spell."
Yeah, did he make you
bullshit."
rake some sand or something like that? Usually gets into that after a
Yeah,
while.
well, he's just like, "What music do you like?" And he gets all weird and
Well,
shit.
Bobby's the kind of dickhead, and he knows. We've fought about this. Bobby knows a lot about his stuff, but then because you don't, if you don't, he thinks you don't get it.
Yes.
So he finally admitted to me, and he was there for this. He came up to me and he said, I guess the way that I like, he's talking about him. He goes, the way that I like really cool indie rock, and I make fun of you for not knowing. And he's like, I guess that's you with hip hop. And I said, yeah, you don't know anything about the world I like.
Yes.
So you look like a moron when I ask you, who Kumo D is.
Sure.
Like, he doesn't know anything about anything in the hip hop world. I mean, a little bit, but like, I go, that's your problem, is he just sees this lens of like hipness.
Yes.
And if he's like, do you like this band? And you're like, not really. I don't really know them. And he's like, well, then you're a fucking loser.
Yeah, well, he's all skater, punk rock, and you're more Midwest hip hop.
Hip hop. Yeah, that's what I mean, you're kind of closer to me. You like that world a lot, though.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in New Orleans. So
New
it was-
Orleans.
yeah, it was like Juvenile, Lil Wayne, the Hot Boys.
Juvie, baby.
It was everywhere. It was the whole thing. That was like my high
400
school
Degrees.
song.
What an album.
Yes,
Come
coming back that
on,
ass
dude.
up.
Master
Master
P.
P. Make them say, na, na, na.
For the first time in my life, I was in love with, because our generation, I spent every dime I ever had, and I mean this. There was a record store on campus at Arizona State called Hoodlums that, rest in peace, is definitely no longer there. I would spend every fucking dime I made at the record store. I loved buying music, and Master P was one of the first times I started collecting, you know, the physical cases of CDs, because they doped up the outside. They'd make a color, hot colors,
yes.
and they'd make ridges where it used to be just shitty, you know, clear plastic.
Yeah.
They would design the case to be sexy and fun. Like Cash
Right.
Money did a number on physical collection.
Oh, those gold with the dollar bills
So
and everything.
dope.
It was great.
It was everything I ever wanted. I was like, oh, this is the actual art of it all.
yes.
I mean, now, you know, not to sound like old man shit, but kids will never have that. Something else maybe take its place, but
Sure.
I missed getting a fucking CD case.
It was fun to own it. In DVDs, you had your shelf.
And
Remember
it
that?
looked so cool to thumb through it to see what people,
yes.
you know?
What am I going to watch tonight? Because I guess you used to have that with books, you know, in the old days. you
yes,
know,
that's
but
right.
Then we had CDs and tapes and VHS, but now it's all digital. So what are
But
they
that was
doing?
a window into the world. If you went over to somebody's house, or as you were invited to someone's place, and you could see their collection of shit,
Yeah.
you kind of got a good sense over, A, if you're going to fuck with these people,
Yeah.
or B, if you're like, oh, I guess we don't have nothing in common. I don't.
Or you're like, this guy's smarter than me.
Yeah, yeah,
You
well,
know,
that's
like,
scary,
Oh,
yeah.
shit, he's got the pianist.
Right.
You know, oh, shit, I got fucking Tommy Boy. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
is a
I have
smart
Dumb and
guy.
Dumber. He has a chocolate and
Yeah.
fucking. It's like, what the fuck? We're not gonna. I don't know if we're
Yeah.
gonna get along. No, that was always a good tell. But I wonder what that would be for kids now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good sneakers. Maybe sneakers are very popular.
Well, fashion now has really taken the place over all those little secrets that we used to say, like that we used to hide about things that we enjoyed. And like they kind of show all of it now by the way their cultural movements are.
Totally.
Gaffigan talked about that on
Really?
Well, he talked about on Rogan that he thinks kids now, you know, he's like the generation above us was always like, I had to walk to school 5
Yeah.
miles uphill, blah 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 blah. And he goes, I think for the first time in history, kids now have it way harder than the parents ever did because their lives are on display and they see everyone else's lives on
Oh,
display.
That's very smart.
Where he's right that like we
It's
used to only had to
mental.
worry about our little circle of friends, and even that was anxiety inducing. Oh, well, Mark got that new shirt. Fuck, you know,
Right.
that's cool. He was able to afford that. Like, oh, his mom must have bought him those shoes or da-da. That was just in your direct circle. Now they see all of the circles all over the fucking world.
Wow, yeah. That's
So-
why girls are killed. They see Kim Kardashian and like M. Rada.
Unachievable standards
Yes.
of wealth, and it's just absurdist where you're like, I remember when I was a kid, I was in photography class, and I've always been obsessed with cars going back. I took a photo of a BMW, it was a 98 or 99 BMW M5. And I still, it's in my parents' house. I still even have the
Wow.
photo, but I was obsessed with that car. But I thought that was like such a fucking unobtainable vehicle.
Yes.
Like that guy must be a billionaire.
Yeah, of course.
But now kids see fucking Lamborghinis like, you know, a YouTube star has that, or a fucking
I
TikTok
know.
guy gets a. So it's devalued wealth. It's
Interesting.
in a way, it's brought light to how many things are just bullshit that we thought that they were. Oh, I thought I could never afford.
That's true. You see private jets all day long now.
It's crazy
That
how
used to
much
be
it's
like,
in your face.
Oh, Hugh Hefner or Led Zeppelin or somebody has a private jet.
Now the curtain's pulled back a little bit. Of course, it's still massively unobtainable. I'm not jumping
Sure.
on a private jet, but it's still like you see now. You're like, oh, I guess I thought that was only one part of culture was able to even have that and invite to that world.
Yes, yes.
But there's plenty of other people that have access to it. I
So
just never
true.
knew. Yeah, and one of my dad's best friends is very well off, and he drives a fucking Toyota.
Yeah, yeah.
I just never knew. When you're a kid, you're like, I guess he's good, but you got to be just a filthy rich psycho to own something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, 100%. But also I think it's you're right, it's become more attainable because being an entrepreneur back in the day was like you started a restaurant or a chain or a Walmart or something. Now it's like, yeah, I got a channel. I got my
it's
own
me.
channel.
It's
I open
me.
boxes. It's me. I
Right.
cook or
Right.
whatever. And I garden, and it does really well, and I make a lot of income from that, and I never leave the house. And you're like, wow. So all that's very attainable now.
It is. It changed the attainability. I think what Gaffigan was saying that I thought was pretty powerful was it was like, yeah, man, the pressure on kids.
Totally.
It-
I mean,
it's something that we don't have to worry. Didn't have to worry about in that regard.
I got beat up quite a bit. If all that shit was on camera, every fucking phone would be out, me getting beaten up, and that would still live on YouTube. I would kill myself. You know, I got pantsed.
Oh
all
my
that
God.
shit. You were getting blown in a basement with
That's
your dad
right.
upstairs.
No. I was getting blown upstairs. My mom saw me. I was fucking in the
Oh,
basement.
that's right, that's
I was
right.
fucking in the basement.
Yeah,
Please,
I wasn't getting laid in high school.
I pantsed my friend Matt in class, and he didn't forgive me for like an entire year because I pantsed him. But I thought I didn't try to get the underwear, but the underwear got caught in the sweatpants.
It happens.
And that boy, oh boy, his little dingle dong came flopping out.
Oh.
And you know, that was at the time when your dick was not as long as your balls.
Yes.
So his dick was like resting in his balls, you know, like butter in a bun. You know what I mean?
like an acorn in a
yeah,
bush.
it was so sad to see.
Yeah.
And I remember depancing him and him turning around and then like swinging at me, but missing and me laughing. So I got best of both worlds. I got a laugh and a duck, a little dodge.
Yeah, not bad.
Shout out to Matt. I'm sorry about that, buddy.
And your dick's bigger now.
No, it's not. I've seen
Ah,
it.
shit.
Still the same size.
It tastes better. But yeah.
But listen up, kids. Men, women, and children, people of all genders, ages, spectrums, groups, whoever you are, where you are right now, please, on Netflix, go watch Mark Norman's special. You can't miss it. He's the sexiest dude on the channel right now,
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
What else do you want, man?
Exactly.
This is the real Stranger Thing that you're looking for.
Yes.
Mark Norman, I love you. Do me a huge favor. Look into that camera. We end the show the same way with one word or one phrase. Take your time. One word or one phrase to end the show. Whenever you're ready, you go ahead, you sweet prince.
Anal.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.